Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Bill Show. Today, our special guests are Gulliver, the Emperor of the tiny Lilliputians, and the King of the giant land of Brobdingnag. Everyone give a warm welcome to our first guest of the day, the traveler Gulliver.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So, did you get attacked by any giant rats on the way here?
No.
Okay then, I forgot you're not a very comical guy. Moving on to the first question. After your first encounter with the Lilliputians, what made you want to go on another adventure?
Well, you see, Bill, I really enjoy adventures. And after my patron died, I really needed a new source of money. And I don't really like being in one place for long periods of time. So it seems like a good option.
Well, that's a reasonable explanation. I'm surprised a man likes to travel as much as you do still has a wife.
Well, there was those young girls in the giant land, but they were a little big for me.
Oh, well, on to the next question. How did it feel being held captive by people so much smaller than you?
Well, at first, all I could see was the sun. When I saw the tiny Lilliputians climbing all over me, I had to admire their bravery because I myself had to be brave going on all these journeys. They also showed me great hospitality by giving me food to eat and wine to drink when I was in no position to make demands of them. So for that reason, I don't find that it was a big deal that they were holding me captive.
Well, I guess when you say it like that, it really doesn't seem like much of a big deal. However, some of the Lilliputians in the land didn't like from the start. They nitpicked a few laws and tried to get you charged with treason. How do you feel about that?
Well, to be honest, Bill, I feel a bit betrayed because I did save them from an invasion of a neighboring kingdom, as well as put out the fire and save the queen from a castle. So I feel like they should show me a little bit more respect for what I've done for them.
Well, you did pee to put out the fire.
The queen is safe and the fire is out, isn't it?
That is true. Saving the queen's life is the most important thing. Well, moving past the Lilliputans, the land of the giants must have been a big contrast for you. You had no idea whether they would be friendly or not, but you had no choice but to reveal yourself to them because you were stranded on the island with them. Take us through your thought process as you were in the land of the giants.
Well, my first master, he was alright. That is until he started showing me off like I was some type of display. I really didn't appreciate that. Then the queen got me out of that, and she bought me away from him. That was okay, but then the king started trying to breed me like I was an animal. Luckily, fate was on my side, and an eagle brought me away in my sleep, away from that mess.
That is truly amazing. There's about a 1 in a million chance of a special rescue like that. And on to our last question for you, Gulliver. What characteristics of your personality do you feel like helped you get through these trials the most?
Well, first I'd have to say bravery, definitely. You never know what's going to happen, so you just have to stick through it and be brave throughout everything. And during the highs and lows, you really can't get too emotionally invested if things don't go your way. You just got to stick through it and just keep going. I would never try to be heroic in any type of situations. I would only just do what's necessary to survive. But quite honestly, I just relied on chance to get me out of some situations.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today, Gulliver. Thank you for coming on the show and giving us insight into all the experiences that you've had.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here today.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Everyone give a big welcome to the Emperor of Lilliput.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Glad you could be here. That means the first question. What is your opinion on having Gulliver stay in your lands for such a long period of time?
Well, first of all, Gulliver did us a big favor by stopping the enemy forces from across the sea. In doing this, he also added some of their ships to our ever-growing fleet. For this, I am grateful towards Gulliver. But on the other hand, Gulliver was a very big man, and he required a lot of food in order to sustain him. This greatly depleted our food storages, and if he stayed much longer, we would have run completely out of food. It was time for him to go.
Well, that makes sense. I can see why you wanted him to leave. After all, he did pee all over your castle.
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons we wanted to get rid of him. In fact, a couple of us decided that we would gouge out his eyes in his sleep and then starve him to death when he woke up.
Well, look at the time. I think that's all we have for you today.
Wait, I had more to say.
Sorry about that, folks. Now we'll bring in our last guest of the day. Everyone give a big welcome to the giant king of Brabdingnan.
Happy to be here, Bill.
We're happy to have you. But on to the first question. What were you trying to accomplish by breeding humans in your land?
Well, we wanted to diversify the giant community by breeding a new species. We thought that we could keep these humans as showpieces and rare pets in our homes. Only the wealthy could afford these. Perhaps you could help jumpstart this new movement.
Well, I gotta run, folks. See you next week, hopefully.
Come back here, human!
Let's give a big welcome to the giant king of Brabdingnag.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. Well, moving past the lily buttons, the land of the giants must have been a big contrast for you. Oh, well, on to the next question. How did you feel being held captive by such a...
It's okay. I'm not...
Well, that makes sense. I can see why you wanted him to leave your land. After all, he did pee all over.
Are you serious right now?
Gosh. Well, that makes sense. I can see why you wanted him to leave your land. After all, he did pee all over your castle.
Are you serious right now?